Okay guys, check this out and don't tell me you're not excited for this upcoming game, which as you play as the survivors or the aliens. If any of you have been following my channel lately, I think you know how excited I am for this new open world survival or War of the Worlds game. No, it's not because of its graphic, not because of its animations or anything of the sort, but all because of its gameplay. It is looking like one of the most interesting survival games that I've seen in a very long time. If you forget about its graphics, man, this game has never-ending gameplay elements as well as a ton of game modes that will be available at launch, including its main survival mode, where you have to survive in any way you can for 7 days against an alien invasion, where you can steal cars, find yourself shelter, get resources, kill civilians to get their goods, do little missions and join the military. Or you have the multiplayer mode, which will have you and other players either play as survivors on planet Earth or the aliens invading its world. Today we've got our very first look at what it'll be like to play as the invaders. And man, this new update just brought this upcoming game to completely new heights in my opinion. I just never expected it to be already super far in development and so just clean looking like this. It's really surprising how much progress that these devs are making, and this new update just shows the passion that's been poured into this War of the Worlds game. Just imagine yourself invading planet Earth and trying to find and kill real online players that are trying to hide in some of the many buildings, houses, forests and villages. You'll be able to even go as far as probing inside of houses, looking for scared villagers and players hiding under tables, in basements and so on. Man, this gameplay is just something that I feel people have been waiting for a really long time to see. It feels great to just be able to play as the aliens for once. Since this is a full-scale invasion, you will see and help your fellow tripods and alien friends. You won't be alone doing this massacre. Some games tends to showcase this massive full-scale war but only as you doing the killing, but in this game, you're just a tripod that erupted from underground like the many others. You will feel the sense of scale that this war has on the world. Now imagine yourself being a survivor against these tripods controlled by players. How terrifying and difficult it'll be, having to carefully walk past these machines looking for resources and shelter for example, while other players roam around as well. You're just a random civilian who's trying to not get harvested by machines, so you'll do your best with the weapons, the vehicles and the equipment that you have and that you can find. This just puts so many opportunities in my head and I love the potential this all has. For the past few weeks now, this game has been in a close playtest over on their Discord channel, and thanks to player feedback, the development has been moving and going forward quite a lot more than before, with lots of new features, patches and optimizations being added. The devs have added more weapons for survivors to play with, more enterable buildings and houses, more environmental features, graphical enhancements, lighting and overall a world that feels more alive than before. Now, just like the 2005 movie, you'll also be able to witness this alien invasion firsthand. You start out as a civilian doing his day-to-day things and get to see a massive storm coming up, and then that is when things get real serious. There's also a new character template within UI, customization, crafting and more to create a stronger feeling of survival in this game. As most of you might expect, nighttime really isn't a time to relax at all. Every player will have to stay hidden and not get spotted, or if the player tries to go outside, well, it can risk his life. The devs also added new environmental atmospheres such as a person on the radio screaming for help or the army talking to each other, which by the way you'll be able to join the army and fight the alien invasion. They also improved the vegetation and the environmental design to make for a completely upgraded world. They also added dialogue with an absolute ton of NPCs where you can just talk to them about what's going on and such. You can also threaten random civilians as well for their food, their vehicles and such. There's also going to be random stranger encounters, which if you give them food for example, they will give you a location that might have a weapon and things of the sort. These different encounters have different outcomes. Guys, for more videos on War of the Worlds, make sure you like this video and of course subscribe to stay tuned.